Emma Samms had to watch two young boys die, her brother Jamie and her sick friend Sean. But from the experiences, she found the inspiration to create an organization that would someday become a major charity, the Starlight Foundation. She was only 21. She was slowly establishing herself as a working Hollywood actress when in 1982, she landed a juicy role that would make her famous.
And I was over the moon, absolutely over the moon. And I was right to be over the moon because it was the most wonderful job.
Emma landed the role of Holly Sutton on General Hospital. The part had built-in controversy since she was replacing Jeannie Francis as Luke's girlfriend.
We needed a love story for Luke, and I felt that we needed someone who was entirely out of the norm. Emma had a sprightliness and a verve which seemed to be right for Luke.
The fans didn't accept Luke with anyone but Laura until Emma came along. Part of it had to do with just the sheer magnificence of Emma Samms.
When Luke and Emma's Holly became romantically linked, the couple sizzled.
First time Luke saw Holly, she was swimming nude in a lake. So her very first scene, she was in a flesh-colored swimsuit in this awfully mucky, dirty little lake. She was wet, her hair was hanging straight, and she was gorgeous, gorgeous.
Tony Geary taught me 90% of what I know about acting. He was so open to sharing things with me. He taught me to listen, to use the things that I had in real life in my performance.
She was very young, very smart, a very instinctive actress.
Then go. I don't need you here. I can look after myself.
She was wonderful at improvisation, and she was very much there and in the moment, and she has wonderful humors.
When Anthony Geary took a break from the show, the producers hooked Holly up with character Robert Scorpio, played by Tristan Rogers.
Emma was magnificent with Tristan. You sort of know when the chemistry is wonderful for two people, and it was for those two. Fans just loved it.
And that relationship was what really the audience took to, which was marvelous. The writers wrote marvelous stuff for us, and the audience were great. They responded so well to us and were so enthusiastic.
Really?
Really. And I went to the hotel with that in mind. But I couldn't. And I had every right to, as you well know.
Well, why didn't you?
Hasn't it dawned on you by now that I couldn't because of the way I feel about you?
Some sparks flew off the set as well. Emma and Tristan dated briefly, but marriage only happened on TV. Emma was now famous and invited her sister Louise to join her in LA.
I can remember being with her and a girl fainted in front of her. And we were sort of, what? It was very strange.
Emma began to use her fame to promote the Starlight Foundation.
A London boy, 12 years old, with a terminal illness and a special wish to see Disneyland.
The recognition I was getting for General Hospital was the perfect tool for launching a new charity. And to this day, anybody I encounter who is even vaguely useful, I snag them and then bug them for the rest of their life to do things that are beneficial to the community. How fantastic.
Starlight was a very big part of Emma's life and a very, very important thing to her. She's completely genuine and her beauty shines from within. And Starlight is a reflection of the enormous heart and soul that this woman has.
Between the charity and the soap, Emma was busy. She stayed on General Hospital for 4 years until she got an offer she couldn't refuse.
She was offered a big part by ABC in a nighttime series. There was nothing I would ever do to prevent that. The rest of the cast were fine about it. Some of them may have been a little envious, but that would never come back to my ears.
Next, Emma comes under attack in the tabloids.
It was just all very intense and sometimes quite intrusive.
And later, Emma turns her back on Hollywood's glamour.
I drive a car that's 10 years old.
The Sands. After Emma landed the plum role of Holly Sutton on the daytime soap General Hospital, fame and financial security followed. Her beauty and talent breathed new life into a show with sagging ratings, and she established herself as a rising star. She began using her fame to help the fledgling Starlight Foundation. Then came her next Hollywood break, the one that would catapult her into the world of primetime stardom and international fame.
And as it turns out, it was because Tori Spelling had watched General Hospital and liked me on that and had mentioned me to her dad.
When the primetime soap dynasty hit the airwaves in 1981, it quickly worked its way into the top 5 rated programs with super producer Aaron Spelling at the helm.
It went from sort of being the, the me generation to the me generation, and I think Dynasty was on the vanguard of all of that.
Viewers couldn't get enough of the over-the-top glamour, glitz, and intrigue.
We were all so gorgeous and so screwed up and so rich, and it was fascinating to watch these very wealthy, screwed up people mess up their lives even more.
In 1985, at age 24, Emma joined the cast, replacing Pamela Sue Martin in the role of Fallon Carrington. Same character, different actress.
They did not want me to do an imitation of the way Pamela Sue Martin had played her, which was very helpful for me. I didn't feel that pressure at all, and I really appreciated that. When I started playing Fallon, she had amnesia, though she was very vague and bland. But once I was into the flow of it and feeling quite at home and comfortable, so she was this quite interesting person to play.
I killed them. I can't believe it. I killed them. You saved my life. That's what you did.
During Dynasty's last season, a new executive producer considered replacing Emma. He wanted to bring back Pamela Sue Martin in the role. The show's creators advised him against it.
So I invited her in. She came into the office, and what I found was an absolutely beautiful, absolutely delightful, charming, funny, young woman, and I fell in love with her, as everybody does. When we were shooting, it was the very last day of the season. I told her about this. She turned white. She had no idea. She said, "Thank God you didn't tell me earlier."
That last season, Paulson brought in a new love interest for Emma.
We just kind of hit it off, and she just made me feel very relaxed.
I never even imagined such beauty was possible.
Lullaby? It's pretty, isn't it?
I mean, you.
And I had come from New York, so I, and studied in New York, so she would ask me questions about acting. And meanwhile, I felt like, here I am, a stranger in a foreign land being on the set of Dynasty, but she made me feel very at home.